Story 1. The Woman on County Road 46. I grew up in a small town in northern Wisconsin, the kind of place where everyone knows each other, and the nights are so dark you can't see past the edge of your own porch light. Back then, my dad used to drive trucks for a living, and every Friday night he'd come home down County Road 46, a long, winding stretch of asphalt that cut through miles of cornfields and forest. One night, around 11:30 p.m., I got a call from him. His voice was shaky. He said, "Hey, don't wait up for me tonight. Something weird happened on the road." Naturally, I asked what he meant. He said he saw a woman standing on the side of the road wearing a white dress, barefoot, and holding what looked like a lantern. He thought maybe her car broke down, so he slowed down and rolled down his window. When he stopped, the woman turned toward his truck, and that's when he realized she wasn't holding a lantern. She was holding a baby. She didn't say anything, didn't move, just stared at him. My dad said the baby's face looked wrong. Its eyes were black, completely black, and its mouth was slightly open like it was gasping for air. He panicked and hit the gas. The truck roared forward, but as his headlights swept over the road ahead, he swore he saw the same woman again, standing farther down the road, this time in the middle of it. When he got home that night, he was pale as a ghost. My mom thought he'd been drinking, but he was dead sober. A week later, one of the local sheriffs came by asking questions. Turns out 3 people had reported seeing that same woman on County Road 46. One man even claimed she appeared inside his car for a second when he drove through the fog. Years later, after my dad passed away, I found his dash cam in the attic. The footage was corrupted except for one frame, a blurry, still image of a woman's pale face reflected in his side mirror, smiling. Even now, people say if you drive that road on a foggy night, you'll see her walking barefoot along the shoulder, cradling her baby, waiting for someone else to stop.
Story 2. The Old Farmhouse on Miller's Ridge. When I was 16, my friend Jason and I used to explore abandoned buildings around the countryside of Kentucky. There was one place everyone in town warned us about, an old farmhouse on Miller's Ridge. The story went that in the 1950s, a farmer went insane and murdered his whole family before hanging himself in the barn. Of course, being stupid teenagers, that just made us want to go even more. We went one summer evening just before sunset. The house looked like something out of a horror movie. The roof caved in, vines crawling up the walls, and all the windows smashed. As soon as we stepped inside, the temperature dropped. There were symbols carved into the walls, circles, crosses, and words I didn't recognize. Jason laughed it off, said it was probably some local kids messing around. But then, upstairs, we found something that made us both go silent. There were handprints, hundreds of them, smeared in something dark all over the walls of what looked like a children's bedroom. Suddenly, we heard a loud thump from below us. We froze. Then we heard it again. Thump, 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 like someone walking slowly up the stairs. Jason whispered, "Maybe it's a raccoon." But I knew from the rhythm that was not an animal. I grabbed his arm and we bolted for the back window. As I turned to jump out, I looked down the hallway and saw something that still keeps me up at night. There was a man standing at the top of the stairs. His face was gray, eyes hollow, and his head tilted like his neck was broken. He raised one hand slowly, pointing directly at me. We didn't stop running until we reached Jason's truck. When we came back the next morning with his cousin, the house was completely burned to the ground. The fire department said it happened overnight, probably lightning, they claimed. But there hadn't been a single storm that night. Now, Miller's Ridge is fenced off. People say you can still hear hammering coming from the field on quiet nights. The sound of that farmer nailing shut his family's coffins over and over again.
Story 3. The Field Behind Grandpa's House. This happened in southern Ohio in 1998. My grandparents owned a small house surrounded by miles of farmland. Every summer, I'd stay there for a few weeks to help my grandpa with the crops. Behind his property was a huge cornfield that stretched all the way to the tree line. Grandpa used to tell me, "Don't ever go in there after dark. You'll get lost, and you won't like what finds you." I thought it was just an old farmer's superstition. One night, I couldn't sleep. The crickets were loud, the air was hot, and I saw a strange light flickering in the field, like someone waving a flashlight. Thinking maybe it was a trespasser, I grabbed my grandpa's old lantern and went to check. The moment I stepped into the rows of corn, everything went dead silent. Not a single insect, not even the wind. The light I'd seen ahead blinked once, then twice. Then it started moving away from me. I followed it for what felt like 5 minutes until I realized I couldn't see the house anymore. Every direction looked the same, endless walls of corn. Then I heard whispering, low, fast, like multiple people murmuring in the stalks around me. I froze. The light turned off completely. Suddenly, the stalks behind me began to move. I turned around and saw a shape, tall, thin, its eyes glowing faintly orange. I ran as fast as I could, tripping over roots and stalks. The whispers grew louder, almost sounding like laughter. When I finally burst out of the cornfield, my grandpa was standing on the porch, holding his shotgun. He didn't say a word, just grabbed me and pulled me inside. The next morning, he took me out to the edge of the field. All around the spot where I'd come out were barefoot prints, small like a child's, but there were dozens of them, all circling the area. Before I left that summer, my grandpa plowed that entire section of the field and never planted there again. After he passed away, my dad sold the land. The new owner tried replanting that area, but a year later, his equipment caught fire during harvest. He told the local paper he heard laughter in the flames. I never went back.